Slide 2, please. Okay. 1 second, please. Oh, apologies. Can we go back to slide 2? Thank you. The slide on the screen provides information on translation services available through CHA. You can also find this information on our website at www.thecha.org. Slide 3, please. All right. All right. So briefly, what is MTW and why are we here? So MTW is a federal demonstration program for public housing authorities like CHA to test new ideas, design innovation, and programming at the local level. In particular, it provides funding and regulatory flexibility from public housing or voucher rules. What it does not do is provide us additional dollars. It does not eliminate federal oversight, and it does not exempt us from non-housing rules at the local or state level. Next slide, please. So, sorry, we are having some technical difficulties and we'll have some slight delays. Thank you for your patience. All right, so the MTW annual plan process. So in order to finalize our annual plan, a 30-day public comment period is required. After our public comment, the plan will be submitted to CHA's Board of Commissioners for approval, and from there, submitted to HUD for approval. CHA is required to submit an annual plan 75 days before the start of the new year, and so required to submit a report on that plan 90 days after that year. Next slide, please. All right, so the public comment period began on Thursday, July 17th and ends on Friday, August 22nd. Note that this year's public comment period is extended beyond the minimum 30 days in order to provide residents and the public more time for feedback. The documents are available online at www.thecha.org. Documents include the proposed annual plan, the public comment notice, and the executive summary of the plan. CHA has scheduled 3 public comment hearings to provide an overview of the plan and to address any questions, comments, or concerns of residents or other parties. So today is the first of these 3 hearings. The next hearing will be in person at the Charles Hayes Family Investment Center, or known as the FIC, on Wednesday, July 30th. And the last hearing will be a live stream on Monday, August 4th. Recordings of these live streams will be available online for the duration of public comment. You can also submit a comment at any time during the public comment period by email, fax, or regular mail. Information is on the screen. At the end of this process, we will produce a comment grid, which is a list of all of questions or comments received during public comment, along with CHA's responses. So all comments received, regardless of how they were received, will be included in the comment grid. CHA staff will review and respond accordingly. Next slide, please. So, submission of the annual plan is a requirement of our participation in the MTW demonstration program. As mentioned, the MTW program, which provides us regulatory and financial flexibility, to better serve our residents. So the annual plan provides an overview of our proposed use of those flexibilities. We have to report to HUD how we will use the funding flexibility. If we are asking HUD for flexibility on regulation, we have to explain how and why. The content and format of this report is based on HUD guidelines. Our annual plan is due to HUD in October, which is 75 days before the new plan year, and will go to our Board of Commissioners in September for approval. There are 6 sections in the annual plan. In this presentation, I will be providing a general overview of each of these sections. Next slide, please. So section 1 is the introduction, which provides highlights of CHA's long and short-term goals and objectives within the MTW program. In the long term, CH intends to use those flexibilities for 3 core areas. First is the use of single fund or financial flexibility to improve residents' quality of life. This includes funding for our resident services programming. Secondly, to support CHA's revitalization and development strategy. This includes investments in mixed income developments at legacy CHA sites, the use of the Rental Assistance Demonstration or RAD program, and project-based vouchers to preserve, build, and expand housing options in Chicago. Finally, CHA is committed to using the flexibility to streamline our operations in a way that is beneficial or has minimal impact on residents. Next slide, please. So for the next year or in the short term, CHA has 5 main areas of focus. This includes delivering more affordable housing. In total, we expect 226 units to be delivered. 88 are for CHA, 76 affordable, and 62 market rate. CHA will continue to support local housing programs that expand housing options, such as our home ownership program, which includes the choose to own or down payment assistant options, and support for the City of Chicago's flexible housing pool. Additional support for families at risk of experiencing homelessness include approximately 5,300 project and tenant-based vouchers. And with the cut in funding to emergency housing vouchers, CHA is also planning to absorb the approximately 1,100 vouchers to ensure families do not lose their housing. CHA is also proposing 3 new activities: the non-elderly disabled waitlist referral pipeline, the streamlined inspection process for HCV programs, and the utility allowance alignment. More information regarding these activities will be provided later in this presentation. Finally, CHA will continue to administer and monitor 20 previously approved activities with a focus on their long-term progress and outcomes. Next slide, please. The following slide represents the current pipeline of rental housing development. In particular, those items highlighted in yellow are family housing expected to deliver in FY2026, including Legends South A3, Ogden Commons A2, and Parkside 5. Supportive housing is expected at 3959 North Lincoln, and family development at places such as Grace Manor, Humboldt Village, Lathrop 1C, LeClaire. All of these projects are expected to deliver in future years. Note that all of the project units are project-based vouchers, including the RAD. Next slide, please. Section 2 of the plan provides an overview of CHA's general operating information, such as unit delivery, portfolio and development updates, capital expenditures, leasing, and wait lists. Currently, CHA anticipates delivering 51 new units using Restore Rebuild, formerly known as Faircloth to RAD. This means they are being developed as public housing, but when construction is complete, they will be converted to RAD project-based vouchers. Note that there is no loss of CHA units as a result of this transaction, and the two are Legend South A3 and Ogden Commons A2. CHA anticipates 126 new project-based vouchers in total, including 23 new vouchers at 5853 North Broadway. This total also includes the 103 public housing conversions to RAD. There will be no loss of CHA housing as a result of those conversions to RAD. CHA will continue to support the approximately 12,600 existing family, senior, and supportive PBVs. Additionally, CHA plans to proceed with the disposition of developments in order to create rental and for sale mixed income developments at various sites, such as Oakwood Shores, Roosevelt Square, Legend South, Park Boulevard, Jackson Square, Lakefront Properties, and Cabrini. CHA also has several projects expected to continue construction listed on the slide. Examples include Parkside 5, Oak and Larrabee, Ogden Commons, LeClaire A North and A South, and more. We also expect for sale construction at Lakefoot Properties, Oakwood Shores, and Legend South, and anticipate conducting pre-construction planning at various sites such as Park Boulevard 4B, Park Boulevard for Sale, and 45th and Evans. Next slide, please. CHA also anticipates up to $192 million in investments in our existing property portfolio, as well as new construction and capital planning. Capital investments include preservation and rehab work at various family and senior and scattered sites, families such as Abla or Brooks, Dearborn, Horner, Trumbull, and senior properties such as Ella Flagg, Malia Jackson, and Mary Jane Richardson, and as noted in the scattered sites, various small, medium, and large multifamily properties. New construction investments is expected at Oak and Larrabee, Lathrop 1C, LeClaire 8 North, Southbridge 1C, and near West Side. Capital planning and investment includes expenses for upgrading the enterprise resource planning or ERP system, as well as physical needs assessments at various properties. Next slide, please. In total, CHA anticipates serving more than 66,000 households, including approximately 54,000 vouchers, 12,000 public housing, and 250 through our MTW local non-traditional programming. We will also continue to maintain our site-based family and senior waitlists for public housing and project-based housing, along with community area scattered site waitlists, and of course, the citywide waitlists for the Voucher Choice Program. Next slide, please. Section 3 of the plan includes proposed new MTW activities or significant changes to existing activities. Activities are programs or initiatives CHA has implemented that are different from what HUD regulation would normally allow. We have to explain how and why and what our goals are for these activities. In 2026, CHA is proposing 3 such activities. First, on the screen, you see the non-elderly waitlist referral pipeline, which intends to allow qualified partners to pre-screen applicants to expedite the process of housing qualified non-elderly disabled households. Next slide, please. CHA is also proposing a streamlined inspection process for HCV programs, which we intend to adopt. Rather than adopting Inspire in its entirety, CHA will adopt a modified inspection process. In particular, to note, Inspire inspections take 2 to 3 times as long as our current HQS process, so adapting this will ensure CHA's costs remain stable and operations. Next slide, please. Finally, CHA is proposing a utility allowance alignment activity. This will align utility allowances with biannual and triannual recertification schedule, such that utility allowances will be applied at tenants' regularly scheduled biannual or triannual re-examinations unless the residents opt into annual re-exams. Next slide, please. In Section 4 of the plan, Section 4 describes MTW activities that HUD has already approved in prior years. CHA continues to administer 20 such activities that are intended to increase efficiency and cost savings, expand housing choice, and promote the self-sufficiency of our residents. This section includes a description of each activity, details on the approval, amendment, and implementation, updates on the activity, and any planned changes. When CHA submits its annual report to HUD after the completion of the plan year, we will report out on the outcomes of all of these activities. Next slide, please. Section 5 of the plan includes information on CHA's finances and our use of our single fund flexibility. CHA anticipates over $1 billion in revenue and over $1 billion in expenses in 2026. Please note, however, that the numbers in the financial section are placeholders, as CHA is currently in the midst of our budgeting process, and numbers will not be finalized until later this fall. Updated numbers will be included in the final submission to the board and then to HUD. Please note that the expenses table in this section were transferred from the prior year with some error. So please refer to our website for for FY2025's plan to get a better sense of our current expectations of actual expenses by category. So CHA uses its MTW funding flexibility in a variety of ways to fund a variety of resident services programming in particular. These programs are designed to promote community building, advance the economic power of our residents, increase academic achievement, and improve quality of life. Programming is available to both voucher and public housing residents and for residents across all age groups and demographics. Some highlights include 300 families will sign leases for mobility areas, supporting 100 families to purchase homes through our home ownership program, supporting residents connecting to new and better jobs, 2,000 youth engaged in summer paid opportunities, and more. Next section, please. So section 6 is the last section of the annual plan, which includes certain administrative documents listed on the PowerPoint, including our certification of compliance, our lobbying disclosure, and board resolution and letter, as well as, upon completion, the final comment grid that we mentioned would be put together in the course of this process. Next slide, please. So this brings us to the end of our presentation. So we are now going to move on to the public comment portion of the meeting. Bridget, do we have any questions in the chat? All right, we will stay streaming for an additional 3 minutes to give folks opportunity to submit their questions. Presented on the slide, you can see information regarding our next in-person hearing, which is on July 30th at 6 p.m. at the FIC. Our next live stream hearing, which will be on August 4th at 11 a.m., streamed on our YouTube channel. And additionally, on the presentation, you can see information on where you can send email, mail, or fax. All right, so we see some questions in the chat. The first question we see is, are there any programs within CHA to help buy a car? I am not aware of any such program, but if you see on the presentation slide, you can see information about comment on the plan. You can send your questions there with your contact information and someone can follow up. The next question we see in the chat, can CHA please allow for seniors to enter public housing at age 55? So that is a question that we will follow up with you about. Again, if you can send an email or reach out to the information on the screen, then someone can follow up with you about that. Note that some of the senior properties are available to near elderly, 55, but more information can be found on the website, particularly at www.thecha.org. Which you can find more information about the various wait lists and places where you can apply for housing. The next question we see in the chat is, while in school or trying to receive multiple certificates in college degrees. That's for the first one, I see. I see. Okay. We see no more additional questions in the chat to address, so we will conclude the public comment process here. Please, as a reminder, on the slide, you can continue to submit your questions even in advance of the next in-person or live stream hearing by email, again at commentontheplan@thecha.org, by mail, or by fax. And thank you very much. That concludes our public comment.